Today is January 14th. We're in Proverbs chapter 14. I hope that you're joining and reading us today. Let me remind you that if you've missed today through Proverbs, or maybe you're starting late and you're just popping in, maybe this is the first video you've seen. We're not trying to catch up on all the chapters we've missed. Let's just read the chapter for the day. And the goal is not to get through a book. The goal is to develop a daily habit of reading and see what God can teach us each day. So if you've not read Proverbs chapter 14 yet, go ahead and pause this video. You can go read the chapter and then you can come back, watch this, and leave a comment. Really important that you leave a comment with something God's teaching you through the chapter. In Proverbs 14, there's several verses that kind of remind us and show us that there's a difference between what we see or what we show and what is really going on. And so amidst of a lot of other things, maybe God's speaking to you about, there's a few verses I just want to kind of highlight here that kind of contrasts what is seen and what is reality. Verse 4 says, where there are no oxen, the manger is clean, but abundant crops come by the strength of the ox. In other words, if you don't want to get any work done, you don't sell off all your ox, you have a nice clean barn, everybody will think things look nice, but you won't have anything to eat. Or you could have a really messy barn and plenty to eat because you're working hard. Now, I don't know who needs to hear this today, but it's okay if your house is a mess. It really is. Now, so long as you're doing the things God wants you to do. It's in that messiness of life that a lot of times we find our purpose and our meaning. Then in verse 9, it says, the fool mocks at the guilt offering, but the upright enjoy acceptance. So a little bit of background that may be helpful. The guilt offering was given for those who committed a sin, but didn't realize it was a sin at the time. It was one of those, you look back and you go, I didn't even know what I was doing, and I know that was wrong. You'd go and you'd offer what they called a guilt offering. So it's one of those, on the surface, nobody else maybe knows there's a sin. Everything looks okay. And so the fool will say, the guilt offering is useless. You don't need it. Then people would just know that you've done something wrong. Let's hide that and keep our public appearance looking spotless. But verse 9 tells us the upright enjoy acceptance of that forgiveness and know that it's more important to be right before God than it is to be accepted outwardly by people. Verse 13 is kind of a sad verse, but one again that reminds us that the reality of things isn't always what we see on the surface. It says, even in laughter the heart may ache, and the end of joy may be grief. This is just a reminder to me that there are times people are hurting that we don't know that they're hurting. And so we want to laugh with them. We want to share joy with them, but we also want to get to know them and love on people so that we can start to help people in their times of need. It's also a reminder to me that just because I'm laughing or I'm smiling or things are going well doesn't mean I can't also have burdens and take to the Lord. So there's kind of that duality between what people will show and what really is going on in their hearts. Several other really good verses. I like verse 26 as well. Read that as well, talking about how fear of the Lord is a refuge to children. I think that's beautiful, but I wanted to focus on these themes of perception and reality today. I hope this has been helpful.